Let us check again the syntax for defining a function, but this time we are adding parameters to it as well. So this is your function name and this is your return type. So return type is basically any data type. So your function will perform some operation over here and the same data type will be returned by this function. So a data type can be void, int, float, but when you define integer as a return data type for your function, then your function should return integer type of value only. Now to add parameters to your functions, you just need to specify data type and variable. You can add any number of parameters to your function. For example, I can specify, let's say, float variable a, then I can take any other data type, let's say int b. So you can have any data type and any number of variables for your functions. Now let us take few examples to understand this concept better. In example 1, I have defined function as add, to which I am passing to integers and it will return me an integer. This is how we should define a function. Now inside of this function, I am performing my operations. I'm adding two past values a and b and storing its addition into new variable c. So in this statement, I am declaring a variable c and I'm initializing addition of a and b into c. And in the next statement, I'm returning c. Now notice that c is a type of integer which we have declared over here. So this value will be returned by this function whenever it is called. Let us take one more example. In example 2, I'm defining one more function to which I'm passing a single variable as float and it will return me float type of variable. Notice that I'm not declaring any additional variable in this function, but we are returning calculated value in line to the return statement. So return is the keyword which tells compiler that this value will be returned by my function. So what is happening over here? 3.142 is a float variable, radius is a float variable, again the radius is float variable. So multiplying these three will give me a float variable only, which will be written by our function. Let us take one more note over here. When a function is called, we can either pass constants to it or we can pass variables to it. So once the function performs the operations, the value is assigned depending on its data type. So in this case, I'm calling add function and a result returned by add function will be stored into x, which is integer. Now this data type of your variable x should be same as return type of your function. If there is a mismatch, then compiler will give an error. In the next lecture, we will check few programs on functions that will make your understanding for the functions more clear.